Welcome back to the Growth House Deep Dive. If you are listening to this, you are part of a community that is obsessed with the future, your career, your growth, and, figuring out where the world is heading before everyone else does.
Yeah.
And today we are tackling the absolute elephant in the room. We are talking about the subject that is keeping every single person I know up at night, whether they want to admit it or not.
It is the conversation of the decade, honestly. And it's funny because even 2 years ago, this felt like science fiction.
Totally.
Now it feels like the Tuesday morning meeting.
It really does. We are looking at a topic today that is happening right now, this week, maybe even in your office while you're listening to this. The title of today's deep dive is I Got Replaced by AI, Here's What I Did Next, and we're also going to cover the 5 skills AI can't replace in 2026.
And I think it's important to clarify right off the bat, this isn't a doom and gloom episode. We aren't here to tell you the sky is falling or that the robots are coming to, terminate humanity. But we are here to be realistic. This isn't speculation about what might happen in 50 years when we have artificial general intelligence.
This is now.
We are looking at the modern workforce as it exists today and where it will be in 2026.
Exactly. We're moving past the hype cycle. You hear people say, oh, AI is just a tool. It helps productivity. It's like a calculator. And that's true. Sure.
So a point, yeah.
But there is a silent reality underneath that narrative. There is a version of this story where AI doesn't just help you do your job, it does your job for you, or rather, for your boss, without you on the payroll.
That is the harsh truth we need to confront. The narrative of AI as a co-pilot is very comforting.
Of course.
It suggests you're still the pilot, right? You're in the chair, hands on the yoke. But the economic reality is that for many roles, AI is becoming the pilot. And the former pilot, the human, is being asked to leave the cockpit entirely.
So our mission today is simple. We want to move beyond the fear. We're going to look at the hard numbers, and they are staggering numbers, by the way.
Oh, they are.
We are going to share real stories of people who have literally been replaced, names and faces from the Growth House files. But most importantly, we are going to give you a survival guide. We have a concrete action plan to ensure that you, the listener, are not the one left behind.
Think of this as a wake-up call, but also a toolkit. We want you to walk away from this deep dive with a strategy, not just anxiety.
I love that. A survival guide for the AI age. I'm excited to get into this because, frankly, I want to know how to survive, too.
We all do.
So let's unpack this. Where do we even start with the state of affairs?
We have to start with the numbers. I mean, if you want to understand the magnitude of this shift, you have to look at the Goldman Sachs report. It's been circulated quite a bit in financial circles, but the headline number is one that it stops you in your tracks.
Okay, hit me with it.
300 million jobs.
300 million.
Yes. The report states that AI could affect approximately 300 million jobs globally.
Okay, let's just pause and visualize that. 300 million. That's basically the population of the United States.
Almost exactly. Imagine walking down the street in New York or Chicago. Every single person you see, the barista, the banker, the bus driver, the child in the stroller, imagine a number equal to that entire population representing a job that is being fundamentally disrupted or displaced.
But wait, I want to push back on the doom aspect of that number for a second.
Please do.
Does affected mean 300 million people are fired tomorrow? Because that sounds like the apocalypse.
No, and that's a crucial distinction. Goldman isn't saying 300 million pink slips go out on Tuesday.
Okay, good.
They are saying 300 million roles will have a significant portion of their workload, usually estimated at anywhere from 25% to 50% automated by generative AI.
Okay, so it's exposure. It means the job changes. It's not necessarily eliminated.
It means the job changes. But for a certain percentage, it means the job disappears. I mean, think about it. If 50% of your job can be done by a machine for pennies, your employer has a very, very strong incentive to figure out how to automate the other 50% or combine your role with someone else's.
Right.
And what makes this wave of automation different from the Industrial Revolution or the rise of the internet is who is being affected.
Right, because historically, automation was about blue-collar work. It was robots in factories building cars or automatic looms weaving fabric.
Exactly. Physical labor.
It was physical labor. If you worked with your hands, you were at risk. If you worked with your head, you were safe. That was the deal.
Precisely. In the past, technology replaced muscle. We built the steam engine to replace the horse. We built the robotic arm to replace the assembly line worker. This time, technology is replacing cognition.
It's replacing thought.
It is replacing thought.
Yeah.
We are seeing a shift where the safe jobs, the white-collar careers that you went to university for, the ones that were supposed to be the ticket to the middle class, are the ones on the front lines.
We're talking about the knowledge economy.
The knowledge economy is being automated. We're talking about accountants,
Accountants, yes, I see that.
writers, graphic designers.
Absolutely, translators for sure.
And here's the one that really shocks people. Junior developers.
Okay, wait. Let's stop on that one. Junior developers.
Right.
Because for the last 10, maybe 15 years, the golden advice to every young person, heck, even to people changing careers in their 30s, was learn to code.
The golden ticket.
The golden ticket. If you learn to code, you are set for life. You're telling me that's not true anymore? I feel like we've been lying to a generation.
It's not that it was a lie, it's that the environment changed faster than the advice could update. It's the learn-to-code fallacy of the modern era.
Okay.
The advice was good 5 years ago. Today,
Right.
it's dangerous if you don't understand the nuance. Think about tools like Claude, ChatGPT, or GitHub Copilot.
I use them all the time. I was playing with GitHub Copilot the other day, and I'm not even a coder, and I managed to get it to write a Python script to organize my files.
Right. And what did it take? A minute.
Yeah, literally seconds. And a few tries with the prompt.
That's the point.
Mhm.
These tools can generate clean, functional code instantly. Now, let's look at what a junior developer actually does on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
They aren't usually architecting massive, complex systems. They are taking a ticket from a senior dev that says, connect this API to this database, or fix this bug on the login page.
It's grunt work. It's digital bricklaying.
Exactly. It's syntax. It's boilerplate. And AI is phenomenal at syntax. It has read every line of code on GitHub. It knows how to write that boilerplate faster, cheaper, and often with fewer errors than a human junior who is still looking up documentation.
So if I'm a junior dev, I'm competing with a machine that types at the speed of light,
Right.
knows every library in existence, and doesn't need coffee breaks.
Or sleep,
Yeah.
or benefit.
Or benefits, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, does this mean all developers are doomed? No. And this is where we have to be careful not to fearmonger. Senior developers, the ones who understand system architecture, who know how to integrate complex systems, who understand the business logic behind the code, they are safer for now.
Because they aren't just writing code, they are solving problems using code. It's a higher level of abstraction.
Correct. It's the difference between being a bricklayer and an architect. But the entry-level roles, the learning roles were used to cut your teeth, that is rapidly becoming game over for humans.
Ugh.
And that creates a huge problem.
Yeah.
How do you become a senior dev if there are no junior dev jobs left to learn in?
That is wild. It's like the ladder has been pulled up. You can't get on the first rung because the robot is standing there.
That's a great analogy. And it applies to writing, too. The efficiency multiplier is real.
Talk to me about that. The efficiency multiplier, because that sounds like business speak for we're
Yeah.
firing people.
Well, let's be blunt. It often is.
Yeah.
Let's look at content writing. In the past, let's say a marketing agency needed to produce 50 blog posts a month for a client. To do that at a high quality, they might hire a team of 5 writers.
Sure. 5 salaries, 5 benefits packages, 5 desks.
Now, they hire one writer. That one writer uses AI, maybe a custom GPT trained on the brand's voice, to generate the drafts. The AI does the heavy lifting of structure, research, synthesis, and first draft generation.
Okay.
The human spends their time editing, refining, fact-checking, and injecting a bit of personality and style. That one writer is now doing the output of 5 people.
So 4 people just lost their jobs.
Correct. And here is the kicker. The company isn't failing. A company is actually more profitable. They are cutting costs and maintaining or even increasing output. We are seeing layoffs in tech, media, and marketing that are very confusing to people because they look at the stock market and see these companies doing well.
Right. The stock is up, and yet they're laying off 10,000 people.
And they ask, why are you firing people if you're making money?
And the answer is simply, because they can.
Because they can do more with less. Companies are not sentimental entities. We often project human emotions onto corporations, thinking they care about the staff. But they are efficiency machines. If the math says, keep 1, fire 4, use AI, they will choose the math 9 times out of 10.
That is a harsh reality check. It's not about the economy crashing. It's about the economy shifting its internal engine.
Exactly. It's a structural shift, not a cyclical one. This isn't a recession-based layoff that will bounce back.
Okay, so those are the numbers. 300 million jobs. The death of the safe white-collar role. It's the junior dev crisis. But numbers, no matter how big, can feel abstract.
They can, yeah?
It's easy to hear 300 million and just tune it out because it's too big to process. I want to bring this down to the ground level. I want to talk about real people.
This is crucial. We need to humanize this data. Because behind every statistic is a person sitting at a kitchen table wondering how to pay the mortgage.
We have 3 specific case studies here from the Growth House files. These are real situations, real pivots, some good, some not so good. Let's start with Marcus.
Marcus is a fascinating case. He's 28 years old, living in Austin, Texas.
Cool city, very tech forward.
Very cool city. Lots of tech, lots of creativity. Marcus was a freelance graphic designer. He had a stable business, doing logos, social media assets, branding kits for startups.
The dream, right?
He was comfortable. He had the freelance dream working from coffee shops, setting his own hours.
Living the life.
Until he wasn't. It happened fast. He told us he received a message from one of his regular clients. It wasn't a long meeting.
Right.
It wasn't a phone call. It was just a message on Slack.
Oh, no.
And it said, "Sorry, we're switching to Midjourney. It's faster and cheaper."
Ouch. Just like that. We're switching to Midjourney. That feels like getting dumped via text, but worse because it affects your rent.
It essentially was.
Mm.
And it wasn't an isolated incident. Within 3 months, Marcus lost 3 out of his 4 major clients.
3 out of 4. Wow.
They all cited the same reason. Generative AI tools could give them good enough results instantly for a fraction of the cost. Why pay Marcus $500 for a set of icons when Midjourney can do it for a $30 monthly subscription? The math is just brutal.
So Marcus is standing there watching his income evaporate. He must have been terrified. What did he do? Did he quit? Did he go apply at Starbucks?
This is where the story turns, and this is why we're telling it. Marcus did not give up. He realized that fighting the wave was impossible. You can't sue the ocean.
Right, you can't.
So he decided to surf it. He dove headfirst into the tools that were replacing him. He mastered Midjourney. He learned how to prompt. He learned about aspect ratios, lighting parameters, styling, negative prompts, all of it.
He joined the enemy.
He co-opted the enemy. He rebranded himself. He is no longer just a graphic designer. He calls himself an AI creative director.
I love that title. It sounds executive. It sounds expensive.
It's brilliant. And here is the kicker. He now charges more than he did before.
Wait, he charges more? How does that work? I don't get it.
Because he offers the speed of AI, he can deliver dozens of concepts in an hour.
Yeah.
But he applies his human taste, his design principles, and his creativity to curate and refine those results.
Ah, cool.
He's not selling the labor of drawing the lines anymore. He's selling the outcome. He's selling his taste. He offers the best of both worlds. AI speed with human quality control.
So the lesson from Marcus is what?
The lesson is, it's not AI that replaces you. It's someone who UACS AI that replaces you.
Ah.
Marcus became the person using AI. He moved up the value chain from maker to director.
That is a powerful distinction. It's about leverage. It's about moving from doing the work to directing the work. Okay, let's look at our second story. Emily.
Emily is 32, based in New York. She was a translator working from French to English.
Another classic skilled profession requires years of study, deep cultural knowledge.
A very skilled profession. She worked for a large agency. But the agency decided to integrate AI translation tools. DeepL, Google Translate on steroids, specialized industry models.
The writing was on the wall.
It was. They cut the team from 12 people down to 4.
Brutal. From 12 to 4, that's a 75% reduction.
Yes.
And Emily was one of the 8 let go.
She was. But Emily did something very smart. She realized that while AI is great at translation, it isn't perfect.
It's not.
It misses nuance. It misses cultural context. It misses tone. It might translate the words correctly, but get the feeling wrong.
Right, like how a joke is funny in French but makes no sense in English unless you adapt it, not just translate it.
Exactly. Or legal documents where one wrong word can change the entire meaning of a contract. So she didn't look for another traditional translation job, which would likely just disappear again. She specialized in a new niche called post-editing.
Post-editing, I haven't heard that term before. What is it?
It's exactly what it sounds like. The AI does the heavy lifting, the first draft. It gets the document 90% of the way there in seconds. Emily then goes in and post-edits. She reviews, corrects, humanizes, and polishes the text.
She fixes the machine's mistakes.
She ensures it reads like a human wrote it, not a machine. She adds the cultural context back in.
So she's the quality control. She's the human filter.
Precisely. And the significance here is that she literally created a job that didn't exist 3 years ago. There was no job posting for AI post-editor in 2020.
That's incredible.
She identified a gap in the workflow, the gap between AI output and human quality, and she filled it.
That is amazing. She saw the flaw in the machine and monetized it. Okay, we have Marcus and Emily who both pivoted. They're the success stories. But we have a third story, and this one. This one is a bit tougher to hear.
Yes, this is the cautionary tale. We have to talk about David.
Tell us about David.
David is 45, an accountant in Chicago. He had 20 years of experience, a veteran in his field.
You'd think 20 years makes you bulletproof. That's 2 decades of knowledge and trust built with clients.
You would think. But his firm invested in automated accounting software. This software could categorize expenses, reconcile accounts, and generate reports automatically. It basically took the drudgery, the most time-consuming parts, out of accounting.
All the stuff he probably spent most of his day doing for 20 years.
A huge chunk of it, yes. Within 6 months, 40% of the accounting team was fired. David was let go.
And unlike Marcus and Emily.
Unlike them, David struggled. He had spent 20 years doing the work the same way. He hadn't upskilled. He hadn't looked at the new tools. He relied on his tenure and his traditional skill set. He thought, I'm a senior accountant. I'm safe.
He was complacent.
He was. And when the change hit, he wasn't ready. He didn't have a pivot move. He didn't see it as an opportunity. He only saw it as a threat.
That is heartbreaking, but also terrifying. It shows that experience doesn't protect you if that experience is in a skill that can be automated.
That is the hard reality. The market doesn't pay for tenure. It pays for value. And if a machine provides that value cheaper and faster, tenure won't save you. David is now retraining in a completely different field, but he lost years of earning potential because he didn't see the wave coming.
So looking at these 3, Marcus, Emily, and David, we have to ask the listener, and I'm asking myself this right now, who are you going to be in this changing landscape? Will you be Marcus or will you be David?
That is the question. And it leads us perfectly into the next segment. If we don't want to be David, we need to know what skills are actually safe. What is the human fortress?
Right. We scared everyone enough with what goes away. Let's talk about what stays. We have identified 5 skills AI can't replace in 2026. These are the things that, no matter how good the algorithm gets, we still need a heartbeat for.
Exactly. These are your advantages. These are the things you should be doubling down on right now.
Let's start with skill number 1, original creativity. And I want to emphasize the word original.
This is a big one. And it's tricky because people look at Midjourney or ChatGPT and say, look, it's creative. It wrote a poem. It made a beautiful picture.
Right. It looks like creativity.
But technically, it isn't creating in the way humans do. AI is a remixer. It is a prediction engine. It takes all the data it has been fed, billions of images and texts, and it predicts what the next pixel or word should be based on patterns it has seen before. It generates based on existing data.
It's looking in the rearview mirror to paint the future.
Beautifully put. It can only give you the average of what has already happened. Humans, however, have vision. We create based on lived experience. We create based on pain, on joy, on that weird conversation we had at a coffee shop 3 years ago. We have a unique perspective that is not derived from a data set.
So AI can write a song that sounds like the Beatles,
Flawlessly.
but it could never invent the Beatles.
Exactly. It can mimic style, but it cannot originate a movement. It can't have a countercultural idea, because it is the culture averaged out, that spark of true originality. That's human.
Okay, skill number 2, emotional intelligence, or EQ.
This is the realm of the therapist, the coach, the great manager, the great leader. AI can simulate empathy. It can say, I am sorry to hear that you are feeling sad. It can be trained to respond in a way that sounds caring.
And it's getting very, very good at it.
It is. But it cannot feel it. It doesn't know what sadness is.
I want to challenge you on this, though.
Yeah.
I've heard the new voice modes on these AIs. They sound incredibly empathetic. They pause, they sigh, they lower their voice. If the simulation is perfect, does it matter that it's fake?
That is the billion-dollar question. And I think people fall on both sides of it. But I would argue, yes, it matters immensely. There is a difference between a chatbot script saying, I'm sorry, and a human looking you in the eyes and understanding your pain on a biological level.
The shared experience.
Yes, we as social animals crave that biological connection. When people have real problems, a crisis at work, a personal tragedy, a complex negotiation, they want to connect with a human, not a chatbot. They want to feel heard, not just processed.
It's that uncanny valley thing. We know when it's fake, even if we can't explain why.
We do. And we call this the authentication premium. As fake empathy becomes cheap and infinite, real human empathy becomes expensive and rare, and therefore more valuable.
That's a great frame. Okay, skill number 3, leadership and complex decision-making.
Think about this. AI is incredible at providing options. It can analyze massive amounts of data and say, Here are 3 possible strategies to enter this new market, and here are the probabilities of success for each based on historical data. It's the ultimate analyst.
But it can't choose.
It can choose based on math. It can pick the option with the 78% probability. But humans make the final call based on ethics, on company culture, on gut instinct, and on human context that isn't in the spreadsheet.
Right.
Sometimes the logical, data-driven decision is the wrong human decision. A leader has to weigh the morale of the team, the reputation of the brand, the long-term vision, things that are hard to quantify.
Plus, there's accountability. You can't put an algorithm in jail. You can't fire an algorithm for a lapse in judgment in the same way. The buck has to start with a person.
Precisely. The buck stops here is a human concept.
Yeah.
We need a human in the loop to take the blame if things go wrong and to take the credit. That responsibility is a job security in itself.
Skill number 4, human relationships.
This connects to EQ, but it's more transactional. Think about sales, networking, high-level negotiation.
The golf course deals, the classic stuff.
The golf course deals, the lunch meetings, the trust built over years of face-to-face interaction. A salesperson who knows their 200 clients, personally knows their kids' names, knows their favorite sports teams, knows their fears, offers value that AI cannot match.
Not even close.
AI can send a personalized email, sure. It can reference their last purchase. But it can't shake your hand and look you in the eye and say, I've got your back on this.
Trust. You can't automate trust.
You cannot automate trust. In a world where anyone can generate a fake video or a fake email, trusted human relationships become the gold standard. I know this person, I trust this person, becomes the most valuable currency in business.
And finally, skill number 5. You called this the superpower.
Adaptability.
Talk to me about adaptability. Why is this a skill and not just a trait?
Because it's something you have to actively practice. An AI model is frozen in time. GPT-4, for example, has a training cutoff. It knows everything up to a certain date, and then it stops. It is a snapshot.
It's static.
It's static until it's retrained, which is a massive, expensive process. Humans, we are fluid. We are neuroplastic. We can learn a new skill tomorrow. We can pivot. We can reinvent ourselves.
Like Marcus. He didn't wait for a new version of himself to be released.
Exactly like Marcus. The ability to look at a changing environment, realize your old skills are obsolete, and change yourself to fit the new world. That is the ultimate human skill. AI is rigid. Humans are plastic. We can mold ourselves. That is why we are still here after thousands of years.
So the summary here is pretty inspiring, actually. The most valuable skills in 2026 aren't technical. They aren't about being a faster calculator or a better coder. They were about being more human.
That's it.
Creativity, empathy, leadership, connection, adaptability.
It's a return to the humanities, in a way. The tech does the tech. The humans do the human.
I love that. Okay, so we know the threat, which is the numbers. We know the reality from the stories. And we know our strengths, which are the skills. Now we need the blueprint. We promised the listener a concrete action plan.
Let's get practical. No fluff.
Section 4, the action plan. What you should do next. Step 1.
Step 1 is AI literacy. I call this the new Excel.
The new Excel. Okay, why Excel?
Think back to the 90s or early 2000s. Excel came into the office. There were people, maybe accountants like David, who said, I don't need to learn spreadsheets. I have a calculator and a ledger. This is just a fad.
I remember my dad saying that.
And there were people who learned Excel.
And the people who refused got left behind.
They got stuck. They became obsolete. The people who learned Excel advanced. They became more efficient. They got promoted. AI is Excel times 100.
Yeah.
It is the new baseline for competency in the knowledge economy.
So what's the action here? Learn AI is vague. It sounds intimidating.
The action is, start using the tools today. Don't be afraid of them. Open ChatGPT, open Claude, play with Midjourney, try Notebook LM. You don't need to be an engineer. You don't need to know how the neural network weights are updated.
Right.
You need to be a user. You need to know how to prompt it to get what you want. You need to know its strengths and weaknesses for your job.
Just get your hands dirty. Treat it like a toy until it becomes a tool.
Exactly. Don't be a spectator. Spend 15 minutes a day. Ask it to write a meal plan. Ask it to summarize an article. Just get comfortable with the interface so it's not this scary abstract thing.
Okay, that's doable. Step 2, soft skills development.
We just talked about the human fortress. Now you need to fortify it. Double down on communication, negotiation, public speaking, team management. Take a course. Join Toastmasters. Whatever it takes.
Because those are the hardest to automate.
And they're the most requested by employers. If AI can write the report, the value shifts to the person who can present the report and convince the board to act on it. Being the most articulate person in the room is a massive competitive advantage now.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, step 3. Build your personal brand.
This is crucial for the Growth House audience. Create content.
Podcast, YouTube, LinkedIn, blog. Why is this so important now? It feels like everyone is doing it.
Because if AI can do the technical work, the differentiator is you. Your personality, your history, your reputation, your unique point of view. If you are just a faceless producer of output, an AI can replace you. If you are a brand, a voice, a personality that's unique, people follow people.
It goes back to trust, which we said can't be automated. If I follow you on LinkedIn and I like your take on things, I'm going to hire you over an anonymous bot.
Exactly. Make yourself uncopyable by being authentically you in public.
I like that. Make yourself uncopyable. Okay, step 4, diversify income.
This is just good financial advice, but it's essential now. Never, ever depend on one job or one client.
The era of the company man who stays for 40 years and gets a gold watch is over.
It's gone. It's been gone for a while, but now it's really, really gone. You need stability through diversity, side projects, investments, complementary skills.
So if one pillar of your income is automated away, like Marcus losing his design clients, you need other pillars to keep the roof up.
Be your own hedge fund. Don't put all your eggs in one employer's basket, because that basket is getting less and less secure by the day.
Okay. And finally, step 5, stay curious.
Lifelong learning. It sounds like a cliche, but it's never been more true. Never stop learning. The world changes fast. The learner always beats the person resting on their laurels.
It's the David versus Marcus comparison again. David stopped learning. He rested on his laurels for 20 years. Marcus kept learning.
It's that simple. Curiosity is a survival trait now. If you are curious about the new tools, you will master them. If you are afraid of them, you will ignore them until it's too late.
And we have a bonus step here in the notes. Community.
You cannot do this alone. This is too big a shift to navigate by yourself. Surround yourself with people who are adapting and growing.
Like this community.
Communities like Growth House are vital. You need to be around people who are having these conversations, sharing tips, sharing what works. If you are isolated, you will miss the signal. You'll be the last to know.
Iron sharpens iron. If you hang out with people who are complaining about AI, you will complain.
Yeah.
If you hang out with people who are building with AI, you will build.
Exactly. Choose your tribe carefully.
Wow. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground today. We started with the scary number, 300 million jobs. We heard about Marcus, Emily, and David. We realized our human superpowers. And we have a 5-step plan. As we wrap up, what is the final takeaway? What's the one thing people should remember from this?
The core thesis is this. AI doesn't replace humans. AI replaces humans who refuse to adapt.
That is the bumper sticker right there. Print that out.
It is, and I want to validate the listener for a moment. The fact that you are listening to this deep dive right now proves something. It proves you are looking to grow. It proves you are curious. It proves you are already on the right path.
That's a great point.
You are already leaning towards being Marcus, not David.
That's true. David isn't listening to this. He's probably complaining that things aren't the way they used to be. Marcus is listening.
Exactly. So take that confidence with you. You have the mindset. Now you just need to execute the plan we laid out.
I want to leave the listener with a call to reflection. When this deep dive ends, don't just jump to the next TikTok or the next song. Take 5 minutes.
That's 5 minutes.
Evaluate your own job security. Look at the tasks you do every day. Is your role threatened? Be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what is my specific adaptation plan? What is my Marcus move?
That's the most important meeting you can have with yourself this week. Don't put it off.
I want to leave you with one final thought. Imagine the AI creative director versus the displaced designer. Marcus versus the version of him that gave up. The tools they had access to were exactly the same. The computer was the same. The software was the same. The difference was the mindset.
Mindset is everything.
Keep growing, everyone. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.
Stay curious.